What's up, guys? This is Eli with Night Jiu-Jitsu. You should know that by now probably, but this is Ed Stahl with Metrolina Martial Arts. We're over here at Fit to Fight, and this video today is going to be about not accepting the guard pass. Now that's different than pass prevention. So briefly, and again, I'm going to discuss the principles and the idea behind this. So this is the theme of the video that I'm discussing right now. If you just want to skip to the technique part, go ahead. That's what the fast forward button is for. Knock yourself out. But what I'm really talking about today is like there's a difference between guard play where someone's in my guard and I'm playing offense as I should be because I'm in a dominant position. Then it turns into pass, or it turns into guard retention. So guard retention is the next stage in it where I'm trying to retain and keep my guard, but I might not necessarily be on the offense. It's more about me. This person is really putting up some good measures to start their pass, and I want to shut that down. Now, from guard play to pass, or to guard retention, next we go to pass prevention. So it's a later stage where they're already starting to mount some kind of a pass, and I need to shut that down or try to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Finally, there's kind of acceptance that they're passing my guard. So it's a little like the stages of grief, right? So, and it's a grieving process sometimes to get your guard passed. So my thing is, don't accept the pass for what it is. You don't want to get to that place where your wind is taken out of your sails. You know what I'm saying? Like, so where you're just like, oh, I got passed. Now I got to deal with side control, because that's the moment where you're gonna give them 3 steps ahead instead of just 1 step ahead. Ed is already starting to mount some kind of pass, and we're gonna deal with a body lock pass today because in no-gi, body lock passing is a very strong way to pass. So he's gonna throw me up some kind of makeshift kind of body lock pass here, and he's starting to push this leg down, and he's doing a good job of getting around my leg at this point. So immediately here, he's already starting to stuff my leg. This is already bad. If he clears this all the way, I'm really gonna get into the later stages of passing. We're gonna back up 1 step to where my foot is still between and he hasn't cleared it all the way. So in other words, he's got one of his legs in front of my leg here, and he's passing, he's doing a good job. But at this point here, I wanna get his head offline, because the next stage in this pass is for him to clear the second leg, get his head to the other side, and he's gonna pass. So I wanna get his head framed away. So I'm gonna reinforce, get that space made here. Now, I'm gonna put a frame in that space. Whenever I make space, almost anywhere in the entire roll, I wanna fill that space with a frame. So once I put my frame in that place here, now I'm gonna keep my leg hugged up. What this does is it helps keep his spine out of alignment. So there's 2 things here that are affecting his posture and his alignment, and that's the pressure in of this leg, and it's the frame here of this arm, and I've got his head offline. Quickly after that, what I want to look to do is I want to try to get this leg up, so I've got a really strong support system. And something that I like a whole lot, and I'm borrowing this from 10th Planet System, it's called the Go-Go Clinch. Go-Go Clinch is where I'm going to get this leg in front. Now, I can pull it around this way here. I can use this leg here, or this arm rather, to pull it in front, but I want to make this frame. This doesn't take as much flexibility as you might think, because now if I allow my foot to come up and my knee to get torqued and my hip to get torqued, it's really bad. But as long as I keep hugging my leg and keeping my upper body fairly framed away, it's not terribly bad. As I do this, I want to extend my bottom leg too, to make it harder for him to pass his second leg. So what's happening here, even if he posts his leg, if I post that leg out like right now, as long as I keep this hooked, it's difficult for him to keep passing. He's going to try probably to push that down with his hand over here to try to clear that leg, but it's very difficult for him at this point just because of the angle. The second hand is going to go underneath. I want to start by the knuckle here like this in the snuff box. I want to get underneath his chin here, and then I want to push these 2 hands together. I like to grab S grip. If you can get a gable grip, that works as well. I squeeze, and it's a very tight choke right there, because the frame on one side with my leg, the pressure coming in, and then this blocking the other side of his carotid. So one more time on this pass here, as he's coming around, again, I'm hugging up the leg, I'm shoving his head away, putting the frame in place here like this. I'm gonna look to clear on this side. I'm gonna pull here. This is a more flexible version. The less flexible version is to push this around and get here. As I frame inside here, I extend that leg out. I'm gonna punch under my own leg and come under here like this. So now we're around. You can go here in front of the shin. It's a little stronger to go around the knee if you can possibly make that. So that's one thing. Now, let's say he gets farther into it, right? So farther into it as he's got my leg passed. I was too late on pushing his head to the side, and now he's starting to step around and he's clearing his head to the other side. Now, the pass is fairly imminent to some extent. So there's different things that I can look to do from here, but the big thing is I want to stop his underhook from happening or him from getting underneath my neck. I don't want him to get under my armpit. I don't want him to get under my neck. So I'm going to wedge inside frame like this here. So as he's coming around and he's looking for something to do with his arm, I'm going to help him make up his mind to get the arm to this side over here, and I want to shoot around like I'm going toward an octopus guard style setup. So as I go here, I'm going to post on my elbow and I want to get up here and I'm going to hug around his back. Now the first thing that I want to try to look to do from here is I want to do a step over, and the step over is going to require me to try to reach over and grab the inside of my leg. If I can get the butterfly hook here, that's even better, but if not, I can still post and drive as well. So as I go here and I go to look to sweep and post over, and I'm going to get that sweep like this. So this is pretty good in itself because I just turned his passing to side control into my sweep into solidifying side control. A little fancier version from here is if I want to make that exact same thing happen. He passes my guard, I get the arm to this side here, and as I go to make that sweep here like this, I want to clear his leg. So what I'm doing is taking my top leg, kicking his open, and getting my sweeping leg in the back of it, and I'm hooking here. As I go now, as I roll back, I've essentially put him into this kind of truck position. I can stop right here and look to go for the, sorry, that was ugly. I can stop right here this way and look to control the truck and get this calf slicer maybe, or I can continue around here and look for the twister or to take the back off of it. So there's opportunities there to turn that not only into stopping his completion of his pass, sweeping him, getting on top, but also taking his back all kind of in one fell swoop. One more thing that I'm also going to mention off of this too is that sometimes whenever we get to that position, and he's essentially completed this pass, but I was able to get his arm to this side here. If he squares his knees up and this foot is sticking out a little bit, sometimes this is a little harder. No, it's okay. Sometimes this here is a little harder for me to sweep because he's got a little bit of a kickstand here. If this foot were tucked, it's easier to make the sweep, and that happens quite a bit. But if the foot's sticking out, that's a little harder. So what I'm gonna do instead from here is when I see that foot sticking out and I know I'm not gonna be able to sweep or turn him over, I'm gonna hug inside here. I'm gonna put his ankle on my chest, and I'm gonna sit back and bridge this way here. I'm gonna try to kick over if I can, and then I'm gonna wind up on top here like this if I ride the momentum. If I lose connection during that process and I don't get the momentum to ride all the way up, I'm still gonna beat him on the scramble to sit up. Because what that will look like here, you can see right there, is once I roll him over and he gets disconnected and I lose the momentum, I can just pass this leg and I'm probably gonna win the scramble to the top position because I had the head start by anchoring his foot to my chest. So these are a few measures that are kind of late stage reversals I can do off of his passing procedures, right? And this is all kind of working off the body lock pass. But again, body lock passing is a really strong way to pass the guard and no gi. And a lot of people are really favorable toward that right now. I'm a big proponent of body lock passing, but these are some of the things you have to watch out for as pitfalls when you're on the offensive side of passing. So anyway, hopefully these help you. If you want to see more things like this, I've got a whole instructional from BJJ Fanatics on side control escapes and attacks from bottom. So not only am I looking at like different ways to escape from him passing, but once he's solidified into the pass, once he gets underneath the neck, like I said, don't let him do. And then also if I'm stuck in bottom side, there's some mission opportunities from the bottom. So it's all on that instruction like that if you want to go check it out, BJJ Fanatics. And anyway, that's my shameless plug. Ed, I appreciate you, brother. And check out Ed on all the socials too. He's got a great channel over on Metrolina Martial Arts on YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere else. Yep. Friendster, MySpace, wherever. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff.